today I will present my blended learning course, Transformation. It is kind of the final report. So my course is under the College of Education, under my department, Curriculum and Instruction. It is a course for undergraduate for early childhood. The name of the course is Language and Emergent Literacy in Early Childhood. This course usually it has like 3 sections of 40 students, and now there are more in 4 semesters. So usually each year I teach a lot of the students and many sections of this course. So I think I'm experienced in this course by now after these years. So this is all my information. So this course has 5 learning outcomes, and they are connected with also the program learning outcomes. So through the course, the students will try to understand some concepts about the emergent literacy foundation. They will plan some practices and curriculum based for the children for literacy. They will try to criticize and evaluate some of the literature, the children literacy development, and they will construct some activity based on their evaluation. And also through the whole course, they will demonstrate knowledge of the basic language skills, the reading, listening, speaking, writing, and also the visual presentation. And also they will try to integrate some language arts to the curriculum for the children. So you will notice that through the whole semester and through our task, they are all connected, like from demonstrating the knowledge and understanding, and then applying and creating some kind of activities for the children. So when we start with John, in that time, we submitted the proposal, it was approved, and immediately I started communicating with the center. I got some license for, it was interesting beyond Panaptop, and also other programs like Camtasia and other programs. And use also some free programs that I liked. So I started with March by preparing, the PowerPoints. I started to record some face-to-face sessions and all these kind of videos that I will need for my class when I launch them. And of course, I use the Blackboard. And in September, I started the course, and it was ended in December 2020. And that also was with the period of coronavirus. So actually it was an advantage also. For this course, we had the assessment, like midterm, final exam, and also the test. So the test, for me, under them, I have the quizzes. So task 1 for me, because I love research and I would love to always teach my students step by step how they can conduct research, and also because I love the technology, so I teach them also how they create their videos and connect it with their research paper, and also the reflection is always important for me of what the students they are doing the whole semester, and it is related to their task and also the CLOs and BLOs. So how I did it, I planned as 50-50. So I have the synchronous and also asynchronous sessions. So from the beginning, they have to check all the schedules for the sessions, if it is live or unlive, and also they have to check all the days, deadlines for submission task. I have some videos they have to go through, and also to write their reflections, discussions. So they have to check all that from the beginning. And as we know, for the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, from the beginning, I told them that they have to learn how to use it with the audio, video, all this kind, because when we need it, especially when they present their work, they will need it. So for them, sometimes it takes time to learn, especially all these technical issues. For this course, we have this textbook. It's called Literacy Development in the Early Years, Helping Children to Read and Write. So usually I use this Moro text. And also I use a lot of materials that some of them I created and some of them, because some of them I created by visiting some places like kindergarten or nursery to get some kind of information for my students as real data. And most of them they are in YouTube, in my Blackboard, in Panoptop, and in different places, resources, so they can get in any of these resources anytime they want. So from here it is the course content overview. So you will notice that I started like 50-50, as I said, like synchronous and asynchronous. So the first week, because it is the syllabus, so I am with them, so it is synchronous. And then I started with chapter 1. Chapter 1, it's usually like a lot of theories. So that's why I decided to be synchronous with my students, because it takes time, and it took like two weeks just to explain to them. And you do you want me to open any of the links, the YouTubes, the videos?
I think it would be nice if we, at the end, get a tour in the Blackboard course.
Yes, sure.
That would be great.
Okay, good. Okay, so because most of the recording, it was deleted. So I was lucky to get most of them from my other laptop, because I download some of them. So what I did, some of them usually I upload them to my YouTube channel. So that's my how I secure my videos. And it is public, so anyone can go and check them. Okay, so here you have all the links for all my sessions. And as I said, because I'm teaching like 3 sessions sometimes, or 2 sessions, and there are like 40 students, so I have a lots of videos, a lots of my work, I mean, as face-to-face sessions, and also synchronous and asynchronous. Okay, so here the second week, usually how I do it, I start, it's like my idea is flipped classroom strategy. So I start with synchronous. No, I start with like here, third week, I start with asynchronous. So the students can go and watch the video. And sometimes it's based on the video, the length of the video, if it's like 1 hour or less, or 1 hour and more. And then I have another video. It's more of like, practical video demonstration, because as I said, this about the emergent literacy with children. So for example, if I have a topic, for example, about autism, so I will have also another video to explain the students the reality, what are the actual practices of teaching the children with autistic children, like teaching them the literacy. So as I said, I start with asynchronous, okay, as a flipped classroom. After that, the second session, the same week, and then come back, I will have short quiz, like 5 questions usually. And then, because I want to check if they understand or not what I sent before. And then I will start, because I will start like explaining sometimes face-to-face, some issues related to the chapter, especially some of the chapters are longer than other chapters. And that's the way the student will participate, like face-to-face. And this is all like through the Blackboard discussion and class participation. So most of them are same steps, if you can see. So you can see from how I organize it, you have the chapter, you have exactly what date, what week, you have also the CLOs, because it's connected with the CLOs. Through this semester, I have deadlines to submit, their task and all that, the midterm. So you can see it here, like here, the task 1. And usually what I do, for the task, I have different deadlines, like draft 1, draft 2, draft 3. So with each of the draft, I discuss with my team, because I create also for them some groups, so they can submit their drafts there before they submit it to the actual place of the actual draft. So this gives me the time to check their work, like, weekly or daily. And if they have any questions, I can go to their group when we have the time for that, and we can discuss. So if you see here, like, in week 9, task 1, draft 1 submission, then they have the midterm, and here task 2, draft 1 submission, and here the test. And then we will have the same, like, sequence with the submissions. As you can see, all with the dates. And then at the end, we have, they present all the tasks. That's the final draft. And then we have, the final exam. Before that, usually I have revision for them. So here, some of the tasks. So for example, as I said, we have task 1 is research paper based. So what they do, they collect some of the children language sample. And because last year it was coronavirus, usually how they do it, they can go to schools, to like nurseries or KGs to do that. But last time they did it, like, try to do it online, and I gave them the options. If they don't, have, it wasn't easy for them to connect with a KG, they can do it with some children around them. So this all the detail for the task they have to follow. Here also, because it will be as a research paper, so I teach them how they, format and create all that with ABA style. And here also the rubric. And also I have lots of rubrics in Blackboard, as I mentioned here. So task 2 is video tape. So task 1 is connected with task 2. Task 1, they will start to criticize, evaluate the children, okay? Their, like, literacy. Task 2 is they will create the videos for the children. So it's easy for them to create what? The video taped integrated language art activities with children, because, they document their work. So I make sure that, they do it actually. And with this one is the reflection paper. It's like, 10%, 10%. So here they can do like visual arts, drama with the students, whatever kind of activities that are suitable for the students. So here's some samples. And here also the rubric for them, how they do it. And I have also other rubrics in Blackboard. Here the reflection paper, usually I give them some questions and they will answer it. All these questions are connected with the task 1 and task 2. So here, some samples of my course material. So as I said, I used Beyond and I learned how to use it. So this one video about learning theories. Here, asynchronous, as I told you in 2019, when my session was approved, I start to videotape some sessions. So you can see it, they are actually in a classroom. So then I use it in my, the other semester. So I have lots of them. As you can see, I put some samples. And here are the synchronous online sessions. They are all recorded. I try to use different program to record them. Especially this one video with the audio. And the good thing that this course, we can use both languages, Arabic and English. So that's the reason you can see some of them. I include some of the Arabic sessions also. because it's about literacy. You know, we teach the students, you know, the language. So we use both Arabic and English. And through my teaching, I use different kind of, maybe I forget to write it there. I use different kind of like, you know, programs as games and all that with my students. Like, you know, word wall, like, you know, we can see like quizzes. And for example, in this one, I can come back and show to you, I can show you some of the games and programs that I used with my students, because always I try to experience some new programs with my students. Here also there are lots of, here are some in Arabic. Okay, so here what I did, I include them in Banaptop also video in that time. So I have some of the videos here. Yeah, this one which I said, I went to visit a nursery and talk about, you know, the issues related to the literacy of the children. So it's like, you know, authentic presentation for my students, and I recorded and I submit to my students, and then we got like kind of discussion. So usually I do like these kind of issues, kind of like videos and presentation from real life. So as I said, I have group works. So here are some of the groups. For example, this group 2. I set up the groups from the beginning, because usually I give my students the option if they want to work individually and if they want to work as a group. So it's up to them. So you can see here, this like, you know, one of the groups, they have lots of work as a draft. You see like here, al-munaqasha, the final, you know, the kid number 1, kid number 2. So all their work will be as drafts, and you can see all the dates. So we can, you know, discuss whatever they have difficulties. So we solve it in that time. So for example, if they need anything that they don't know, so I try to, you know, provide the materials for them and search for more materials during the whole semester. So here, as I said, I did like, you know, the quizzes, like, you know, after each session. So here I have many quizzes. So at the end, it depends on the number of the quizzes. Maybe one quiz will be maybe 1%, or maybe will be like, you know, 0.5%. So it's good for the student, they like it. And for me, I check their progress. It will be easier for me to understand and to know which part will be difficult for them, so I can revise. So here's some example. It's like a matching. Okay. So for the student assessment and evaluation, I said the tasks. So we have research paper, reflection paper, the videos. So here are, you know, from their grading. You see here, like, for example, the reflection paper, okay, I have a draft. So some of the students, they decide they will not submit their draft here. They will take more time to submit. So they submitted in like 15 of November 2020. So they have the option. And here, for example, task 1, the last version, or task 2. So I have it all also here with the groups. So here, one of the, it is task 1. I have their grade, and also I have my comments. Here also another example. Here are the videos. Yeah. So here are, as I said, I have like around, for example, 50, I think 50 videos for the students. So this is a part of participation grade. So they have what to discuss. So we have different topics, we discuss them. So here you see some of the discussions. Here are in Arabic. and they like it because as I said, I choose some videos are more practical. So whatever we are teaching as theoretical, so I connected with practical so they can see it and understand what we are talking about. And for those videos, as I said, at the end, it's count maybe 0.5% or so, they learn and gain knowledge and learn about practices. And at the same time, it's good for them, with like baby steps. And they got like, more grades and points. So here, a sample of the task 1 research paper. And the grade here, sample of task 2 reflection paper also. Here are some of the students, because as I said, task 2 is about, they create the video about the activity they created for the children. So this sample of task 2, and have lots of amazing samples, both Arabic and English. And you can see they use different kind of programs. So usually I ask them what kind of program, and we share that so the students, the other students can learn and benefit also from like, technical, like, knowledge and practices. And here also. So I have both Arabic and English. And it's all like online and it's public. And here a thank letter from one of my students. She talks about, how she liked the videos, I think, and how them time to, they to revise their work after we discuss their work. So that's like in general. So usually for this course, because it's mostly like, blended and online, I use other platforms to connect with my to show me the video, discuss them. So we are open in all this. You want me to show you the Blackboard?
I don't think we can hear you well, Dr. Ghada. There is a problem with the audio. I hope it's not only me.
Same here, Professor. Here also, I am also having some problem.
Yeah, I think Dr. Ghada, can you speak up?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. So do you have any questions? Do you want me to go to the Blackboard? Whatever questions you need?
Yes, actually, I have some questions, and
yes, sure.
I'm sure the other colleagues are gonna have some questions as well. Thank you, Dr. Ghada, for the presentation. My first remark is you said you are 50-50 blend. So you have 50-50 of the course conducted online, asynchronously, and 50% conducted synchronously. Is that correct?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Okay, now.
But sometimes when my students need me, so I usually I open the session. In each I open it, so if they need anything, I will be there.
Okay, now I don't see this reflected on the assessment. When I look at the assessment, 60% of the assessment is summative on a midterm, a final, and a test, and the other 40% on a research paper and a video-based assignment, and the two are related. Then where is the assessment of the student engagement online? if 50% the student is online and is not attended, then
Yeah.
this must be reflected on the assessment itself. There must be some measures for the student engagement when the student is online. You do have discussion forum,
Yeah, I have the videos.
but apparently the discussion forum is not part of the assessment, is not assessed.
No, it is. I have the videos because it's all like under the other task, you know. As I said, I have like, you know, the Blackboard discussion, the videos, like you have 50 videos. So this all like 5%.
The videos are the second assessment, the second assignment. You have two assignments. You have the research paper and you have the students develop videos, and those
Yeah.
are assessed. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
So
discussion, participation, the engagement with the recorded lectures are not assessed.
no, it is. It is all part of those assessment. As I told you, I have like, you know, it's part of, I call it like participation, but they're under, I told you I have like 50 videos they have to watch and discuss in the Blackboard. And as I show you, so they are all under those tasks.
Okay, then I think this should be elaborated about in the report.
Yeah, maybe I didn't write it here, but because I told you, like, for example, I have like 50 videos, they have to see it. So at the end, these 50 videos, I think for this course, it was like 5%. So the 5% is under one of the tasks, but I didn't write it here.
Yeah,
But I say it.
It should be there because this was really pretty obvious for me. If you're 50% online, then the assessment should reflect the same. So I expect more formative assessment in a course like this than
I have it. I can show it in Blackboard.
well, it's better to be, because we use this as examples to others when they work on their courses to be transformed. So we would like to make sure that the breakdown and the assessment is really reflecting the.
Yeah, I have it. I will, because usually, you know, in our college, we say it like task 1, task 2, as our colleagues, they can say it like the big umbrella, task 1, task 2, midterm, final, if you have a quiz. Under each one, I have, but I didn't write it here.
Should be.
I can break it down and add it.
It should be written, if you allow me. And when you, there are a lot of photos in the report, and all of them are not narrated. So if I'm reading the report, I'm going to go through these photos without knowing why they are here in the report. What are they doing? What is the purpose of putting all these photos without linking them to the teaching pedagogy of the course? That is one remark. The other is, I haven't
this. Can I answer?
Yeah, but my second remark is related to the first.
Okay.
I haven't heard any teaching pedagogy explained in the presentation of the document. Like, for example, if these photos are part of a teaching pedagogy you're using, then you should explain what is that teaching pedagogy. If you're using a flipped class, if you allow me to finish, if you're using a flipped class, then you should explain that. If you're using team-based, then you should explain that as teaching pedagogy.
Yes, I can do this. I know it, and I will tell you exactly what I did.
Okay, perfect. The other remark is that we shared with our colleagues 8 generic or general standards that should be followed in the presentation and in the submitted report. And these 8 standards actually could have helped you to have everything documented, because each standard they address, it's quality matters standard, if you're aware of that. So I hope you
I include all these standards. You mean the learning outcome assessment and all that? Yeah, with the send me.
Yes, the eight standards. Yes.
Yeah, I applied them all, but maybe I need to elaborate more.
Yeah, we don't see them in the presentation. And thank you very much. These are my remarks, and the floor is open for our colleagues and the CETL team. If you have any other remarks, please.
Yeah, can I answer to your remarks and questions?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So the photos you are seeing, they are not photos, they are videos. So before each video, if you can see, like for example, here I wrote before, you see here, like sample of thanks letter for from my students, okay? For example, here, because as I said, these courses are, 40 students in each course. So these are samples. And I wrote before, for example, here you can see sample of task 2, students' innovative education research videos about the language development and literacy emergent in children. So before each of these videos or photos, I wrote exactly what are they.
Okay.
So let's see, for example, here, samples of students' Blackboard discussions of videos. So I capture them from Blackboard. So here, when you ask me about the 50-50, so I have discussions. So those are discussions, and I have graded them. So they are under the other tasks, part of it. So here are the Blackboard discussions, and you can see here what the discussions of the students. So as I said, I have around like 50, and it is part of the asynchronous session. So when you ask about the standards, for example, you have the assessment. So these are sample of the students' assessment and evaluation of research paper and reflection paper. So here are some of the grades. And here about, for example, I gave one of my students like 16, and here are like, how I grade them, okay, based on the rubric. Sample of the student quizzes and tests. So all I captured from the course. So here you can see, as I said, for example, I have test 1, it is 15 grade, but actually it is more like quizzes under them. So you have here 5%, 5%. So there are like, around 8 quizzes. So here the group work, the students are having some groups and they submit their work there as drafts, okay? And you can see here the students and how they submit, and we have some sessions to, negotiate and talk about their drafts and how can I support them through the whole process of writing or creating the videos for the task. We do it through like, Collaborate Ultra also. So as I said, for my course, even if it is synchronous or asynchronous, even it is not asynchronous, I will be there. I will open my Collaborate Ultra. So if they have any questions, I follow them and I try to jump in and help them, like as individually or as a group. So I did a lot of work for those courses.
Okay. Your hard work is really appreciated, Dr. Ghada.
Yeah, let me answer you for the other questions. So
fact, I think
for the teaching, yeah?
What you answered me is sufficient.
Yeah, I mean for the other question, for the teaching pedagogies, because I will add that one. As I said, I use like some of the flipped classroom strategy. As I start with, as I told you, I start with asynchronous, and then the other session is synchronous. Okay, so the students will watch my video, and the other day they will have like a short quiz, and then I will sit with them face to face and do the chapter again and present the chapter in different way, okay? What I use team-based because as you see, I have all these groups. So they have to do the work as groups if they want. So I do this, okay? I use an idea that I published my paper on about the video taped story workshop method. And this method, as I mentioned, I do lots of like workshops with my students, okay? It can be as a whole class or it can be as groups, as teams in their own group. And we discuss all the topics and all the materials. And if they need help, I can support them with technology, with research, and even with the quizzes. It depends on what we are focusing on. So that's what I call it, the video taped story workshop methods. So, and I think I use different kind of strategies based on what we need. For example, authentic materials. For example, this video, I visited a nursery and I talked to her and I videotaped and I send it to my students and they have discussion about this also authentic material as a video. And as I said, I use different kind of programs like Panaptop and other programs. Let me show you. As I said, I use also some, for example, this video, like different kind of games for my students.
Mild dyslexia, while the next person has a...
Can you see it, the video?
Yes, we
Okay. So for example, through also when I discuss and present, I show them some videos. For example, this is a video from YouTube. I use some games like, word wall games for them, which I created. It's kind of assessment. When you ask me about where are the assessment, so these are some of the formative assessment. So I use lots of games with them about the questions we discuss or the materials. So we have videos. After that, we discuss the videos. So you can see it's all like documented and you can see it in the, so any more questions from the colleagues?